Hey, what's going on? What's up, people? I'm glad you can join me. If you have joined me in Sleepy Say with Your Legs Media, and we got the age, best only age, coming up tomorrow. Probably one of the biggest uh, classics. Well, this is crazy. It's going to be big. It's going to be even bigger because we got Tadej Pogacar going for his next monument. Unfortunately, he's unable to get. He was going for the Triple Crown, which would have been Amstel or Flesh Wallon, and then Liège Best on Liège. And as you can see, I got it up in the way that this is sort of the Flemish says lock, Buster Knucken, lock. So lock, Buster Knucken, lock is tomorrow. We have the ladies tomorrow. I don't have a bunch of stuff for the ladies. Apologies for that. I've been rushing around today and just haven't been able to get around to, but I am going to try to mention some of the ladies races tomorrow. So we got Tadej Pogacar, who is a clear favorite. There's a lot of climbing tomorrow. Remco is in with a shout. So who's the other guy that is in with a shout? So I know I sent this picture across. Remco, baby, where are you? So, Remco, we did you like that, Remco? So what we got to do now, while I'm talking, I'm going to bring Remco's picture across. But while I'm bringing Remco's picture across, this is what the profile is looking like. So that's the profile for tomorrow. I don't know why I'm getting that green spot. I think I'm too close to too close to the. So that's what the profile is looking like tomorrow. And stop that! I don't need that. I don't want that. Come on now, be nice to me. If I come close to the, so maybe that's what it is. I need to be close so I can get rid of the shadow because it's casting a shadow, and then that's giving me a mess up on my green screen. So this is what the course is looking like tomorrow. Lots of climbing, a definite course for Pogacar. And now what we want to do is I want to give you, you gotta have a visual of Remco. You know, that's not cool. Here we go. Where are you, Remco? Desktop, thumbnails. I thought I sent you across. So we got Pitcock, Pokey, and Remco. So I didn't pick Remco. Sorry, Remco. I'm going to send you across now. And we're going to put Remco's picture up. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Remco to come over, is he going to come to the right device? I knew it. There we go. So now we're coming to the right device. To YouTube. Where's Rem? Rem's the baby. So that's Remco. These are your main players for tomorrow. So I tried to select a bunch of players. So like like not select a bunch of players, but select the key players who's probably gonna most likely be your podium for tomorrow. So we got Remco Evenepoel. I think he can outclimb what's going on, Jay? USO, do you follow cycling? Do you follow Liège Best on Liège? Who do you got tomorrow? Do you have someone like an outside pick that you might think might upset the Poggy man? Are you betting on Poggy? Or what's going on? What's your thoughts? But anyway, these are like the main picks for tomorrow. So you got Remco Evenepoel. This is my thing about Remco. I'm just gonna dive into the Remco. We saw Remco come out and the Brabensfield, the German race. Thank you for. I'm a wrestler, Coolio J. These guys, and they wrestle in their own way on the bikes. They wrestle them beat climbs, the headwinds, the rain, the weather, and everything. So they do a wrestling in their own type of way. But Remco Evenepoel, let me get into Remco real quick. So Remco did Brabants, that was his first race back, Brabensfield. And he basically had Wout van Aert to ride against, and he was able to take care of the business against Wout van Aert. And it looked convincing. It looked like, whoa, this time off that Remco had, it looked like, he's about the business and he's going to be able to, he's going to be a contender going forward in some of these races over the next few weeks. So we look at Remco. He beats Walt Bernard in a sprint. Thank you for hitting the like button, Jay. I really appreciate that, man. Even if you're not into cycling, I really appreciate you being there, definitely. But Remco, he Rebensspiel blew away everyone else. It was like, and even the young rider from, I believe it was Israel Premier Attack, that was riding with them for a little bit, hung on, but wasn't able to take care of the business. So it looked like, damn, Remco is the business. He's gonna be, taking care of business. And then we get to Amstel Gold, and he solidified that by chasing down Poggi with what is his name that won the race? Scalmosa, Matthias Scalmosa, and chasing down Poggi. And it's like, people are like, whoa, a Poggi stopper. Someone chased down Pogacar. And it was Remco Evenepoel who did most of the work to do that chasing down. So it looked like it was on and popping. Then we get to La Flash Wallonne on Wednesday, just going, and everyone rode together. They rode hard. They kept the pressure up. They kept the tempo going, and then they got on the Mudui, and Tadej Pogacar just blew everyone's socks off. It wasn't even close. I mean, he just literally blew their socks off. But this is the thing about Remco. Watching Remco, I was expecting Poggi sort of to win and be the stronger one on the climb, but I was at least expecting Remco to be there, being a close second, or even like, fighting for somebody for second and third. But it wasn't. He just about made the top 10, and he faded drastically. So that showed me that the fitness that he got, that he had in Rebensspiel, and then in Amstel, was that acquired fitness that he got early. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate you subbing, man. So that fitness that he like, it's like, I tell people, like, this new wave of training that most people do, and it's instant training, this instant gratification type training where you get the results instantly, but those results don't last. And we had a really good example of that with Jonas Vingegaard in the Tour de France last year. In the beginning of the Tour de France, he came good. He was really strong, but guess what happened? He faded. He faded towards the end of the tour, and Poggi just literally took advantage of him and just took care of the business. So this is what I see happening now with Remco. Rebensspiel, fire. Amstel, looking strong. And then we get to Flash Wallonne when the real pressure starts to hit, and then he needs the legs. And guess what? The legs aren't there because he doesn't have the base that everyone else has. And it even showed with Pitcock coming in third, with Kevin Vanquilin coming in second. Like, these guys have been racing all season, and they had the legs to just, once the climb really got steep, they had the legs to like take care of the business, but they dropped Remco. So I'm really concerned about Remco in Liège-Bastogne-Liège because it's a climbing race, it's a hard race, and it's a long race. How long is let me see, how long is, okay, stop playing with me, machine. It's 252 kilometers. It's not as long as Milano San Remo, but it's long. But unlike Milano San Remo, it's a lot of climbing. So this is where, hey, love the content. Thank you, Trademark. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you subscribing, Trademark. So do you think Remco can sit on the heels of Poggi to give him a run for his money, come to the, in Liège-Bastogne-Liège tomorrow? Because I think it's going to be really tough, and I only think so because Remco doesn't have the miles. So I coach a few guys, and I keep telling them, they keep bringing me these trainer road programs and these these things that they do, and they do them, and they get those instant results amongst the guys that they're racing at the 3s and the 4s and whatnot. And then I tell them, and they say to me that they really want to be successful. They want to give a go and maybe give a shot to try to do world tour racing. But I'm like, okay, if you want to do world tour racing, all that stuff you're doing is great. But then at some point you have to up your level of training. You have to, like the way Tadej trains, the way Vanderbilt trains. There is no reason why you can't train like that. they just spend time on the bike. They just spend time on the bike, and they spend time on the bike, and they spend time on the bike in a sort of I used to do it basically when I trained. People call me crazy and like, it's insane. So I do these 8 hour rides, 9 hour rides sometimes, but I only average 14, 15 miles per hour. I'm saying I only average 14, 15 miles per hour, but I average is 14, 15 miles per hour on a ride where I would do, I don't know, 9,000 feet of climbing, and I'd average 15 miles per hour. And if you do that, so your body gets to recover on the flats, but then you have to maintain some type of pressure on the climbs to work on your climbing and stuff to even it out. But what happens is you get this thing in your body and legs where you just your body just does this. It just goes. It just goes and it doesn't know when to stop. And it doesn't, and you can turn it up. You turn it up with the interval training and all of that stuff and in between. So and I try to explain this to guys. And the hardest thing about explaining this is that it doesn't happen in a season. You cannot do this in a season. It's something you work on. So if you start riding at 16 or 17 or 18, when you're really going to be good, add 4 years to that. That's what you got to dedicate. And all of this, buying all this equipment and all of this fancy stuff and these expensive bikes, and most riders are not doing the work. Most riders that are really successful today, if you look at what they've gotten before they got into to the successful point, they don't have those years of real quality training. And then I hear this thing about like they don't want to push the juniors too much and they don't want them to train too much. They don't want them to do too many miles. And I just find that it's really weird and it's really backwards. It's like this microwave training and it's really rubbing me the wrong way. You know, if Rumco can't fog buggy, he needs to have have Healy or Egan or someone riding him after bogey attacks to bring him back. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, he's going to need his team to really help, carry him. And that's going to be hard because there aren't too many people that can, once bogey starts climbing, you need a team of engines, a team of cars or buses or bikes to hang on to. But into my spiel about this training, man, I want to go into deeper and I want to really expose this lack of like willingness to really, go in deep and train. Like I'm from Bermuda and I watch the guys that are over there training and racing and like, and some of them are here in Europe but at the minute at the Pan American Games, and usually they do really well in the time trial. They haven't done that well in the time trial this year. And you just watch what they're doing, and it's just like, no, I wasn't no world champion, but I'm telling you, I don't care who you are. I can give you what you need, and you will be a champion. But here's the thing. Most people do not have that discipline to do this to train this way. And the hardest part about what I'm telling you right now is that in order to train like to get the results that a pogie gets, you have to be so disciplined because when you get on a ride and say, okay, you know that your target is 15 miles, between 14 and 15 miles per hour, so that's like 18 to 19 or 20 kilometers per hour for the entire ride. That's what you want to average. Riders get out on a ride and it's like, oh, this doesn't feel like I'm doing anything. Oh, and they instantly start upping the pace to maybe a comfortable 18, 19 miles per hour. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, oh my goodness, it's so hard to explain you and to get riders to realize that you have to scale it back. You train longer, sort of easier to give your body more. So like your body's under a longer sustained period of stress, but it's low. But because it's so long, it's like lifting a really light weight. I didn't even got anything. So this is my weight. It's really light, and you just keep doing this. If you do this for an hour, after a while, this is going to get really tight. But if you could do that for 2 hours and then 3 hours, this is going to get immensely strong. This muscle's not going to grow much, but the strength you get, and that's the thing that you get from this type of training that I just can't. I get in so many arguments with people and I've gotten some arguments with some of the best riders in California, like, oh, that way to train is crazy, and it's Poggi is the example. Poggi is the, and if you still want to do this training that you do, and follow this training that you do, and do all the training hit programs, and get on Swift and do all these things, and because you get on Swift and there's 100 other people on Swift, so you're supposed to be scaling back because everyone's riding at 22 miles per hour. You want to sit in the group. You want to sit in the group instead of just doing your thing and working on your body and working on you. So the sport of cycling is always going to be a clustered, like of sort of evenly balanced riders, because everyone's doing the same thing. Then you get a Poggi and a Van der Poel, and then occasionally a Wout van Aert to come along, and your Remco's and your Jonas Vingegaards to come along, because they are breaking the mold. They're not doing what's in the mold, and it's crazy. And you would have the success rate of a lot of cyclists would be, you would have more winners in the sport. It won't be just 1 to 5 riders dominating sport. You have more winners. But anyway, that's my bid on Remco. That's why I think Remco is not going to be able to take care of the business tomorrow, because he just doesn't have the legs. Remco's going to go early. He's going to get dropped early. When Pogacar, he's going to hang on to Pogacar for a little while, but when it really starts to hit, and as long as UAE keep that pressure on like they can, Remco will go early. He may even go before Poggi goes. He's not going to be able to respond just like on the Mordui. Not at all. Remco needs a small, yeah, definitely. And so my other guy is just to be on the podium. I believe Pidcock has he showed that in Strada Bianca, that he has what it takes to go. So this is, I think Strada Bianca is close to the terrain of Liège-Bastogne-Liège, or Lac. It's close. It's close. It's close. So the topography is really close, and it's really hard. So I think that bodes well. I think long as Pidcock rides smart, just takes his time and follow. He knows he won't be able to follow Pogacar to the end, but he can follow long enough so that he could get on the podium. Because last year, this is what Romain Bardet did, and that's how Romain Bardet finished second. And like he was able to solo finish second because he rode smart. And this is what Pidcock needs to do. Take an example of that. And I hope that he paid attention, took notes from Romain Bardet. But I just said his name. Oh my goodness. I'm 55 years old, so forgive me. I just said his name, Romain Bardet. I just said his name. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I said his name, and I can't remember his name. I just said his name. Oh my goodness. Teebs. He's Roman Bardet. Roman, that's not how you pronounce his name. As for picnic poster now, yes. Bardet. That's it. I'm not pronouncing his name. Romain, but oh my goodness, I feel like a complete idiot. Anyway, what's my podium prediction? My podium prediction is Poggi, and if Remco is not full of himself, he has a definite second. But if he does himself in like he did at Flash Wallon, he will be sprinting for third, or he'll be riding in solo for third. And I think Pidcock will take second. So that's my top 3. Let me go to the game. I use Pro Cycling Stats. And on Pro Cycling Stats, my pick for... I didn't pick the femmes yet. I'm sorry, ladies. I will pick you right now. But I'm going to just go to the guys and see who my picks were for the men. So I have my picks there for the men. Oh, Richard Carapaz, one of my picks is removed. So I have to find another pick for... I put Richard Carapaz as my number 5 guy. Man. So in the in the favorites for Pro Cycling Stats, Romain Bardet. That's what I was trying to say, Romain Bardet. And then, so Romain Bardet is my pick number 4, or he'll be pick number 5. Pickup will be my pick number 4. Then Evenepoel, number 3. And number 2, not quite sure, but then Poggi is my number 1. But then we got a really good nucleus of riders. We got Tish Benoit. I really like Tish Benoit because he's you never know what that man can do. You got Santiago Buitrago. If he rides smart, he could be there. But he rides. I don't know. I do like him. You got Giulio Ciccone just coming back from the Tour de Alps, so he's going to be in some good form. But I'm not quite. He's definitely, you know, I don't know. I'm just giving him an outside pick, Giulio Ciccone for the podium. I mean, not the podium, the top 5, possibly top 10. Ben Healy, definitely top 10. Mark Hirschi, I'm not quite sure. He's been hit and miss. He could be a top 10. Valentino Medwas, top 10. Enric Mas, top 5. Michael Matthews, just outside the top 10. Thibaut Nice, race might be a bit too long for him. I think he's just going to be outside the top 10. Ben O'Connor, top 10, just scraping in. Nielsen Paulus, top 10. Matteo Skelmoses, I'm not sure. I haven't got the verdict back about him. If he's going okay, I'd give him like top 15. Maxim Van Gils, top 20. Kevin Van Keulen, I'm going to put Kevin Van Keulen in top 5. So my 5th pick so I've got Romain Bardet, Remco Evenepoel, Thomas Pidcock, Tadej Pogacar. I mean, I think even Romain Bardet is an outside pick because Romain Bardet is he's riding off of how great I was rather than how great he is. And I think he may still be, he may be able to carry that into the race tomorrow because of how well he did last year and just be able to ride off of that energy and that feeling and that vibe that he got from last year. So, man, this is tough. This is tough. Bardet. Oh, this is tough. I like Gregor. I like Roman Gregor. I really like Roman Gregor. Ben Healy is such a... He is like... You don't know... He's not going to win, but he could just blow everybody away and just come in second on his own, second place. So I'm going to go for a long shot. I'm going to go for Ben Healy. I'm just going to... What the hell? Ben Healy. So that's my top 5 pick for tomorrow. Pogacar, Remco, Pidcock, Bardet, Healy. Bardet can easily be second place. So Bardet is just that type of ride. It's a lot of climbing, and the Frenchman loves that. He just loves that. So that is and I wanted to look at the climbs for tomorrow. Let's have a real quick look at the climbs. It's a lot of climbing tomorrow. It wouldn't give me the elevation, the total elevation for the day. It's just crazy. So if I go to races, we go to Liège. Let's stop there. Bastogne Liège. And is it going to give me, so it gives me any like east side distance, and it doesn't give me total elevation. That sucks. Anyway, let's go to it on the profile. And then I think I'm going to try to look at the climbs. And it's the Côte Saint-Roch. I think this is the first climb. So it's 0.9 kilometers. It's just short of a kilometer. And you can see, so let me just get me out of this picture. You can see what the climb is looking like. It's a really hard climb. So this comes at this comes at 70 kilometers in. So 70 kilometers in is going to be the first really testing climb. That's the first one. Then I believe the next one is the Hacheur, the Still Quillian, and this is 3.9 kilometers. That's an average of 7.2%. And how long is it? Yeah, it says 3.9 kilometers. So as you can see, it starts off relatively like I wouldn't say easy, but more tempo-ish, and then just be like, a kilometer in, it gets pretty tough. It gets really hard really quickly. So it sort of break up right there, and then it sort of levels out. So if you do get dropped on that first little red section, when it goes red like that, that's usually about 10 to 12%. And then when it gets into the black, it's usually over 12%. And so it's going to, uh, 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 can I, oh, my finger's not, it's not going to work. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, right here it's going to, this is where, if you make it past this point right here, and then you can recover here, you can recover enough to have enough to get over there. So I don't think anything's going to happen by this climb. And this comes in at 119 kilometers in. So at 119 kilometers, you get the call, the hashur. Hashur, I'm pronouncing everything wrong, so I haven't heard anybody say it. So that's how I do it. I learn from repetition. So like, and then the next climb in is going to be the Mont Lisot. It's going to be the Mont Lisot. Sorry, I believe that's how it's pronounced. And this comes at 158 kilometers. So just imagine after 158 kilometers, the climbs are now starting to hit. This climb is 1.8 kilometers long, and it's a 7.4% average. And you can see it starts in the blue. So it starts like at about 7%, 7, 5 to 8%. And then it really kicks up into the black. And when it kicks up into the black, that's when the business end starts. So these are the climbs that are going to really like hurt the legs of the riders. And this is where the riders are really starting to. So you had 158 kilometers. This is just short of like what most races are in length. So and this is and where most races are ending, and the climbs are just started to hit. So the next climb is going to be, and this one is red, black, red, black. So this is the Côte de Wayne, and it's 2.8 kilometers long, 4 and a 5% average. So it doesn't look that bad, but it's showing and I think it's only because it's saying 4, because if you see in the beginning there's a little blue section and then it goes green, so it goes really flat. So that really flat part is going to bring down the average. But this is also going to be a leg killer, and it's 2.8 kilometers. So anytime you get climbs that are over 1.5 kilometers, that's when it's going to start to burn the legs. That's when it's going to really start to hurt. So then the next climb, and that climb was the Côte de Wayne, that was at 167 kilometers into the race. So at the Côte de Stock comes at which one is that? At 100 and looks like 73 kilometers. It's a 1 kilometer climb. It's short. It's pretty much all in the black for the, so it's going to be over 10 to 12% for the majority of the climb, except for that beginning section, whereas the easy part was about 10%. That's going to be the easy part of the climb. But then for a whole kilometer, it's just hard. And here's where you're going to see where the race is just going to be starting to fall apart at this point. The race is definitely, if it hasn't already. And this is the Côte Levour. You're still going to get you're going to probably have half the peloton by now. At this point, you're going to have half the peloton. You're still going to have a lot of guys in there who still have, hopes and dreams and thinking that something can happen. So then you get on the Côte de la Haute Levée. And as you can see, this one starts off like in the lower 5 to 10%, like 5 to 8%, and then kicks up to over 12% for probably a third of the climb, eases off. You have a chance to catch yourself, and then it just sort of like I won't say like the green part is almost like a false flat, but then it just kicks just a little bit, and just that little bit in the blue. After doing the black and then going into the green, the blue is going to feel like the black. So that's the Haute Levée, and that's it's 3 kilometers long, and with average grade of 6.3% average grade. And where is that? That comes at 178 kilometers. So that's only a couple kilometers really after the last climb. So you don't get so you do this climb and then you do this one right after. You really don't get no break. And then the Col de Roser, this is going to be a climb. It's 4.5 kilometers long, but it's a 5.6% average. And this is more of a climb. This is a bit longer, so this is more of a climb. And this, I think this is where Pogi went last year. The road there is, where is that? That is 192 kilometers in. So, and the race is 252, so that's like about 60 kilometers left to go. So I think, like, most of the UA team will still be here, and this is one of those climbs where the team of the whole UA team will just be on the front and tempo in this climb hard. So if your legs haven't been hurt, or you haven't been hurt at this point, this is where the screw is really going to get turned. It's not as hard as the previous climbs, but it's much longer, and it's a climb where the UEA boys can go on the front and really push the tempo up. So the beginning part of the climb is going to be hard, but when it gets to the blue, it goes from hard, and then just when you think you got a chance to recover, then the speed just kicks up. So this is the part where Team UAE is going to turn the screw, and this is where a lot of people are gonna get destroyed. And the other reason a lot of people are gonna get destroyed at this point is because this is nearing the point where the length of most races are. And most people are not going to be able to make it past this point. And so then the Côte d'Ivoire is a 1.6 kilometers long. So if, you're going to be reeling and trying to get yourself. And then after the Rosé, then you got less than 10 kilometers. Then this 1.6 kilometer Côte, was it the Zine? And it's in all red. So it's it's basically the climbs are relentless. And then there's three more climbs to the finish. Then you got the Côte de Radu, I think that's how you say that. Then the Côte de Forge, and then the Radu is 1.6 kilometers. The Côte de Forge is 1.3 kilometers, and then they have the La Roche. Okay, that is a different one. And that is 1.3 kilometers at 11%. So, and that is like the last climb before they drop down into like the finish town, and it's a pretty amazing. I wish I should have brought up the picture of our Pogi finish. I was like right on the line. Pogi, like I was right on the line, and Pogi just rode right towards me and put his hands up. And if I'd have put my hand out, I probably could have high-fived him. So I'm not there this year. That's my only disappointment, because I'm not there this year. And this is definitely probably going to be the man of the hour tomorrow. It's basically, this is what I've been saying. It's just basically Pogacar against everyone else, and we're just looking forward to seeing what type of pressure everyone else is going to be putting on Tadej Pogacar, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone give this man a push, man. Just push him, man. And that's the exciting part about watching these guys race against one another. Even though they know how talented it is, they still go out there and race. They're not afraid to race. And that's what we want to see. We want to see everyone out there just giving the best, regardless of what. You just go out there and you ride your best race, and that's the only thing you can do. So I'm just looking forward to tomorrow. And then the thing we gotta talk about, I think, on Monday. So tomorrow after the race, obviously I'm gonna bring you my review on the race at the same time tomorrow, like what happened and how it happened. We don't know what's gonna happen. Who's gonna do what where, man? But we'll just talk about that and how that went. But on Monday we should be talking about, I think that the Tour of Turkey is gonna be on, so we can do a brief thing about the Tour of Turkey. But I want to talk about these tariffs and how it's affecting the bike industry. And it's not. And the tariffs, I don't think the tariffs are the real problem of the bike industry. I really don't. I really don't think the tariffs of the bike industry. It says, it's like the tariffs, the plot twist nobody saw coming except everyone. And it says there's a 25% on tariff of Chinese bikes in this trade war. E-bikes are even worse. Results that an $800 commuter bike now costs $1,100. That's in US money. The EU market is 48.5%. Anti-dumping on the Chinese bikes, because Europe really wants you to buy Dutch bikes. So the Dutch are competing. So in fact, so this is sort of like in a roundabout way, this is sort of helping the European brands. Brexit bonus. UK added 14% tariffs on e-bikes because what the hell? Why not? So thank you, the UK European Union, and that result is like $1,000, €1,000 bike in Germany now costs 1,500 in the UK, thanks to politics. So we're gonna really jump into that on Monday and talk more about these tariffs and how it's affecting the bike industry. And it's before they even got into the tariffs, the bike industry is out of control. I did a video, and I did a video. You could go back and look at it, and on what my dream bike. I was just playing a game on what my dream bike will cost and everything that I would want on it. And you can't imagine the cost of just like, seeing stuff, just I put this, and it came in at over 20K. 20K for a bike. Just to like, I wouldn't say it's not the basic. It is. I don't even think it's the nicest stuff in the business. It's just standard nice stuff. Standard nice stuff, and the bike came in at about 20K. So on Monday, that's what we're going to be talking about on Monday, these tariffs and how they're affecting the bike industry. And I just totally think that at the same time, I think the biking industry is also trying to pivot, but also taking advantage of the tariffs. And I think the bike industry is going to benefit because when the tariffs go away, then people are going to say, oh, the tariffs are going, the prices are down, when the prices were at the same high prices that they were before. So people don't get bamboozled, don't get fooled. Just the price of the bikes right now before the tariffs are ridiculous. Now with the tariffs are even more ridiculous. But when they come back, and you're going to think, oh, they're not so bad because they're still ridiculous. Anyway, it's been this Louis Savage Legs Media. Appreciate you tuning in. I hope you hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time to talk about the age but still the age and what happened at the end of the day.